All right, we're live. Welcome, welcome. Let's hope, there we go. Turtlebot woke up this time. Posted my link. All right, so today the plan is to continue on with the file uploader project that we have been doing. Kind of made a breakthrough, it feels like, last time with the file system a little bit. So basically, the way it's we have it now, use node. Let me just get this pulled up here. The way we have it now, we have a root folder with two subfolders, documents and photos, and we can actually fetch that information from the database and display it. But the next idea is to make this kind of a navigable window, right? So you can navigate between different files. So yeah, that's the next plan. So pnpx Prisma Studio. I need to pull up Prisma Studio as well. Let's get the timer started. All right, so looks good. The other thing I'm going to do, yes. So the main thing that needs to be implemented is to request file contents based on the file ID inside of the router. So we basically want to modify the router such that the home layout gets rendered anytime that there's an ID, right? Like a file ID, or even like a. Actually, I'm not 100% sure how I want to do this. Because I have it as like, I can have it, there's two options. I either have it as like the route as like, let me just go, as like drive, like /drive/ID, or I just /ID, but I think drive makes more sense. So let's actually do that. I think we can render the same route or the same thing on more than one route. So like if we go and add one, so if we do a route, so we can render, we can render the same TSX file on more than one route. So if we go /drive, then we should be able to render routes /home.tsx on that as well. And then we'll actually do drive ID. Folder, or let's just do like ID, maybe. So now what we can do is when we navigate to the home page after sign in, we can change the route. So after sign in here, then we get our, so we navigate to root. Instead, what we want to do is we want to get the, also, do I need an action for this? No, I guess not. I might need a loader. We might need to get the root folder, right, of the authenticated user. So I don't know if I can do this inside of here or if I need to do it inside of a loader. So we need to write another query, I think. So we have a init new file system, get files and directory, and then for the directory. And then we could do another one, so get root by UID, user ID, or something. Oh wait, this needs to be a .ts, of course. and we'll import user type. And then we'll open up our Prisma documentation. So it'll be const root folder, or root, just say root, is await prisma.file.find first. And we import Prisma as well. So there we go. And then where actually I can do a select as well. Select ID, and then where, oh, ID true. I guess I could do it like that. And then where user, I guess I actually need to change this, because I think inside of our schema we have it as user ID, don't we? Checksum. Oh no, that's different file. ID created at data is directory user ID. Yeah, okay. So maybe like this. Okay. So where user ID is equal to this. I don't know if you can have to do it like this, but I'm going to do it like that anyway. And then what we do is we can say if, or we can just return the root. And then we'll try catch this as well. Or maybe actually, maybe I try catch it inside of here. Inside routes, inside of sign in. Then we want to navigate to, so actually we only need the root ID, because this should just be ID, right? Turn root.id. Or if root. Otherwise, return return null or something. So what we'll do is we'll say, again, I don't know if I can do this inside of here, but we'll find out. Const root ID is equal to let's see. Const root ID is equal to get root by user, and then I think it would be, we need to get the user ID from this, right? So we have our email and our password, so we don't actually have the user ID here. Does the data give us the user? Oh, it does. Okay. So it would be data.user.id, right? Argument of type string is undefined. It's not assignable to type string. Oh, okay. So we'll say, so we have an error list as well. So let's figure out how to refactor this. So we'll say const, or if root, or data.user. I need to reconstruct the error list, I think. So it needs to be, and then Because I think if I go into sign in validator, yeah, we just have a error there. So it would be, let's say, root folder, root directory, not found. Or no, user not found or something. User could not be signed in. And then we'll do, so if data and data.user, then we'll say const root directory ID is equal to, actually we'll do this up here. Let root directory ID is null, and then we'll reassign it if it's defined. Is equal to get root by a user, and then we'll say data.user.id. And then so we'll say if not root dir ID, then set error list to the error list, and then root directory could not be found for this user. Something like this. And then now we should navigate to that address. So it should be /drive. Root dir ID. Nice. So I think we're ready to start here. Let's get rid of any unused dependencies as well, just for cleanup. We might need to redirect eventually. I'll leave it. Okay. Files.map is not a function. So did it sign in successfully is the question. Signed in navigating to root, okay. Oh, we got a bunch of errors. Okay, that worked. But I guess it didn't navigate properly. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. Now it's just not even letting me log in. Interesting. Okay, well, I might need to refactor this inside of a loader. But the problem is I can't do that until because if I do it on a loader, it runs the loader on when you enter the route, I think. So I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't know. So let's see if we even get a root dir ID. And let's just navigate. Let's screw that. Let's just navigate back to the. Okay, so that didn't. Now it's like not letting me sign in like it was before. It's very odd. I think something's hanging maybe. Oh, I need to await this. That's the first problem. Okay, now it's stuck at the sign in or the sign up. I don't know what this error is. Buffer is not defined. No idea. Okay, so this is still not working. So I waited that. What else could be the problem? Oh, I might have. Oh no, I waited that. Get root by user. Wait Prisma file. Find first. And then so sign in. Let's. I don't know what could be causing all this stuff. Oh, it's also, is Bitwarden still activated? Oh no, it's not. Okay, so it's not Bitwarden. So it's not even this code. I wonder, like, it feels very finicky. Yo, how's it going, Tyler? You're actually the first chatter tonight. Oh god, what the hell? Route config and routes is, oh, the config is invalid. Oh. Well, why didn't you tell me that before? Can it not be, maybe it can't be the same route. Number one, hell yeah. Yep, you're number one. Yo, how's it going, Satyam? Welcome, welcome. Maybe you can't have more than one. I assumed you could have more than one. Actually, no, that actually makes sense that you can't have more than one thing for an index. Can't have more than one route for a particular thing. Okay, so that might be part of our issue here. So if I remove that, then that should actually fix it, and then we'll come up with something else. I'm doing well, Zeno. More than one what specifically? Okay, so basically what I tried to do, I don't know, maybe this is just wrong, but I assumed you could have one TSX file, like one route component assigned to multiple different routes. But now that I think of it, maybe you can't, so. But yeah, it's going well, Sayam. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll remove that for now and try this out. Because this might actually work now. Stupidly. Oh, because it's down, never mind. Okay, we're good. Okay, so it's still broken. Nice. Am I using a bare state for inputs? What do you mean? You can with some frameworks, not sure about React though. Yeah, I don't know. React Router, the problem is React Router, like, I don't know. I guess it's an okay framework, but its documentation is garbage. Absolute garbage. Like, it took me, are you using bare state for inputs like useState? Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Maybe that's not advisable. But anyway, it took me like 4 streams to figure out that, like, even if, like, so I was having, like, for example, let me go to my home layout here. I was having subcomponents, and I thought if you render a subcomponent underneath a route that it could inherit a getter and a loader, or sorry, not a getter and a loader, a getter and a loader and an action, which is like a get and post request from its parent route, but that's not how it works either. Define separate route elements pointing to the same component or use optional. Well, that's what I tried to do, Tyler. I tried to define separate route elements pointing to the same component and it broke, so that's kind of what I was getting at. Use React hook form. I don't know if I ever learned that. That was just Odin Project's fault. But that's a good point. I'm not going to worry about those kinds of things for right now because it does work. But it like every time it's so weird because every time I try to make a change here, it just like breaks the whole auth system. Is it React Router v7? Yeah, it is. It's React Router v7. So I wonder if it's this dog shit happening again. Like if it's this new code that I added in here. I don't know. No. Okay, so it's doing the same thing that it was doing yesterday. Or it might be, for some reason, unauthenticating something. Okay, files and directory. No, that should be fine. Oh, because maybe there's no user. Class user, session user. Is this a public repo? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's possible then, but if it's not super necessary, just don't worry about it now. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just trying to get this back to a functioning state. What's the issue that I'm facing? I tried to basically request file contents based on the file ID, so like in the URL, but I tried to implement that and it just broke everything. So I wrote this helper function called getRoot_by_user, which essentially gets the root folder's ID based on the user ID. And I tried to put that inside of the sign-in. So when you sign in before it navigates, it fetches that root directory ID and then stores it just locally. And then basically the idea is that you would navigate to /drive/ID, whatever the ID is. But I'm just trying to navigate back to root just to see if the damn thing even works, but it doesn't anymore. And I don't know what happened. But I wonder if it's like, I don't know. I wonder if I can't do, like, I wonder if it's because I can't do a query inside of a helper function like this, but I can with this. Like, I can do this auth client.signin. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what's causing this problem. To be fully real, but basically what it does is when I try to sign in, it doesn't. It basically just redirects me back. It just spits me back out to the sign in. I mean. Yeah, I did. I tried to do that inside of the router. So this is how I had it in the router. I had it like this. So I had route, and then /drive/ID as a dynamic route, and then I assigned that to routes/home, because home is where the drive navigator is rendered, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to put a semicolon there. So I tried to have it like this, right? But I also have route/home as the index, right? But the problem is, well, it wasn't working, first of all. And then it crashed saying that I don't have, yeah, it says route config and routes TS is invalid. Oh, is it because I don't have a, oh, never mind. That was because of the semicolon, my bad. So maybe it's fine. So let me actually just kill this and start it up again, see if it works. Yes, okay. So it says, so when I try to have it like that, it says route config and routes TS is invalid. Unable to define routes with duplicate route ID routes home, which is what I thought maybe. No, you're right for that. Go back to the routes TSX and show me line 9. Yeah, sure. Is that the wrong way of doing? That's how I thought you did dynamic routes. Routing, let's just zoom this guy in a little bit. Yeah. It's missing the comma. Does it need a comma here? I didn't think so. Is this Next.js? No, it's React Router v7. Shouldn't it? I don't know, because I didn't have it here and it worked. So I don't know. Yeah, comma shouldn't cause that. I didn't think so. Yeah, dynamic segments like this. When the route matches the URL, the dynamic segment will be parsed from the URL and provided as params, which is what I wanted eventually, but it's not even able to fetch the root folder. Home.tsx is index. Yeah, so maybe you can't have it as index and a route, if that makes sense. Although, you can do it like here. Oh, that's projects home, sorry. Marketing home, okay. Surely you have routes with the same file. What the hell? Yeah. I don't know. That's what it's giving me here. It says unable to define routes with duplicate route ID. But there are no duplicate route IDs. Or like routes.home. Like I wonder if that's... So the issue is when you log in, you're navigating back to the sign-in page only. Yeah, it should be navigating to the home route, but it isn't. So if I remove this line, if I remove line 9, and then I save, and then I redeploy, it does work, right? But then if I add the line back in, it breaks it, like that. So anyway, that's the kerfuffle this evening. I don't know, honestly, I don't love this framework only because, index and path both need to be unique. Both need unique ID. Oh, okay, that could be. That could be. That could be it. Yeah. But it's not a big deal. We can figure that out. It's more so as third param, try adding ID, unique ID. Is that a thing I can add to the route? Paths, file, and then children, route config entry. Is it winter, bro? What is the sound? It's just a rain sound effect. Yeah, they're optional params in here. No, that's not it. You could have got it as Spency anyway. Yeah, well, I'm using it as a framework. Yeah, no worries, MMM. Yeah, I'm using React Router as in its framework mode, I guess. You can have multiple dynamic segments in one route path. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, that's not what our problem is. Have I tried Laravel? I'm not sure what that is. That PHP? What's the timer in the bottom left for? So it's basically Pomodoro, where I work for 25 minutes, sneezy, and then I take a 5-minute break. So when it's blue, it means I'm like working / talking to chat, and then talking to chat all the time anyway. And then the 5 minutes is green, and it's just like a break. Yeah, PHP. Yeah, I don't have interest in learning PHP. I'm not gonna lie. At least at this time, it looks kind of like a gross language. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna stick in JavaScript land. Yeah, which JavaScript is its own beast, but you know. Why don't you ask GPT or Claude about this? Because that's just it's personal preference. I don't get GPT or Claude to help me out. So I like to figure things out without that. This DevTools thing, I don't really understand. I think it's because maybe there's some sort of, when you open up the DevTools, it has a specific route or something, and then React Router doesn't know how to handle that. But yeah, happy 4th of July too. I kind of didn't remember 4th of July, my bad. Happy 250 to America. It's true. 1776. But yeah, so Appreciate the well wishes, but I don't celebrate for reasons. Hey, that's valid. I get that. Huh? 7:30. Why does he need to be? Oh yeah, I guess it's 7:38. Happy normal day. Yeah, I mean it was a normal day. Also very warm. Still warm up here in Canadiana. Although not as bad as it has been. How's Canada Day for you guys? It was kind of a non-event, I'm not gonna lie. Because it was like 50 degrees outside, like not like almost 50 degrees, and I was, I don't know. I had the day off work though, so we couldn't really go outside. But then these people, we kind of like look out on a parking lot, like out of our condo or our apartment. It's like we're renting a condo anyway. And there were these guys lighting fireworks, like literally we could almost like, the sparks almost flew into our apartment. It was crazy. Take a look at example. You need to pass unique ID, so framework, who knows? Yeah, I don't know where that extra param is, because like if I hover over it, Sneezy, there's like route config entry, but I don't know what the hell that even is. Like there's a optional children parameter here. Oh, I sent a link in Discord and it didn't send. Oh, really? You could send it in stream chat, Sneezy, at the very bottom. If it didn't send, it should send. Because you can't send links on YouTube. Nice work, bro. Keep it up, the good work. Appreciate that, Mohammed. Thanks for the support. Okay, so let's get back to it here. You can make a route segment optional by adding a question mark to the end of the segment. Okay, that's fine. We might want to do something like this then. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I just want to fix the sign-in again. Because every time I make any change to any of these things, the fucking auth breaks. And I genuinely don't know why. Sign in once. I can try signing out. Let's see. Oh wait, this whole thing's bricked. Hold on. Oh, now it's all bricked. Okay, so it's hanging on something again, I think. It must be. Every time this happens, it's probably hanging on something. The parameter should just be ID. Well, so I thought that, but I was wondering if that might cause issues for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like that would cause issues. Maybe not. Like this. Maybe this would actually work. Oh no, I can't. Route config and routes TS is invalid. Okay, so you can't just do ID either. Whatever. It's kind of done. But every time that the buttons break and then like the theme doesn't switch, it's usually hanging on some process, but it doesn't like, React Router doesn't really do a good job of telling me where it's hung, right? Like it says buffer here is not defined, but I don't know like where that's being run from and why, right? Like this is within the Prisma, so maybe it's part of the query. I don't know. Check stream chat real quick. Okay, got you. Route path file TSX. Oh, like that. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's give that a shot then. So we can do this, and then can I put that inside of an index? Yeah, I can. Okay, so I can do ID. Let's just say like root. No, I don't know. No dir or something like this, and then for the other one, I can do ID routes slash home.tsx, and then ID is dir or something like that. Oh, that actually fixed it. Sick. I mean, it seems like it did because I saved it and it didn't spit out an error, so that's something. But we're still getting this hanging problem. I think the most important part is they have their own unique IDs, so there's no conflict. Right. No, that does make sense. Is that Node or Next.js? It's React Router v7. Which is a full stack framework. So I don't know if there's anything wrong with this. But I'm using this as a query inside of our sign-in right here to get the root directory ID. And then the idea is that I would navigate to it like this, right? Like root dir ID, something like that. Try clearing your sessions from DB to reproduce real quick. Yeah, we can try that too. I wonder if maybe that's also could be part of the problem. Let's do that. There was a command you told me to related to that. So let's refresh and we'll do a sign up. Yeah, so does this work now? Okay, so it did fix it. It did fix the hanging issue. Yeah, clear the cache. Yeah, I just cleared from the DB, so we'll re-sign up. That could be part of our problem. Oh, see now, okay. It didn't navigate to sign in again. But did it create the, oh, so it's doing this hanging again. Okay, so that's interesting. When I tried to do that, it is now hanging on something. But the user instance did get created. And the files did get created. So I don't know why it isn't. We had this problem yesterday too, or when did I stream this? Yesterday? We kind of had this problem yesterday where it does stuff, but then it hangs on something, and I don't know why. And basically all the buttons freeze. Or if I click it hard enough, it'll then navigate, but they kind of all seize up. And I don't know why. Where would the cache be? Is that just memory? I guess so. Or no, not memory. Application. No cache storage. Where have I learned web dev or React? I got you. I learned it from the Odin Project. The buffer error. In the console, did you get the buffer error again? Yeah, when I signed up, I did. Error loading route. Yeah, buffer is not defined. If I click it enough, it'll actually make the page come up. When was the last time you generated your schema? It should be up to date. I mean, I can try fixing it again. It's just so weird, man. So let's try doing that. So pnpx Prisma generate, and then pnpx Prisma db push, right? Yeah. So it says the database is already in sync, so that wasn't the problem. So not sure what that's about. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if maybe this use effect is causing trouble. It could be. This use effect could be hanging us. If this is consistently running, I don't know. I put the use effect back in there because I wanted to have the loading state. Change line 42 to navigate drive root dir ID. But that's not how I defined it inside of here. That's what I was thinking of doing. Why do I use TypeScript and not just normal JavaScript? For a couple reasons. One, because it's the industry standard, and two, because TypeScript has what's called type safety, which basically makes the code you write run more predictably, and doesn't lead to weird errors. A buffer is a string of characters in the database can understand or represent a file. Yeah, I know what a buffer is, but yeah, in that context though, Jay, you're right. Use the React hook for form, no need to manage the loading state. Oh, true. Okay, that's true, Satya. I'll look into implementing that once I fix this problem. So if I change that to drive ID, and then I do drive / and then we run the dev again. Okay, so let's go back to, yeah, so now it's still hanging on something because it's not letting me, when it hangs like this, it doesn't let me do anything. Although it lets me do that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't navigate to the sign in. I don't know. This thing's so annoying. Oh, no user authorized. Yeah, that's fine. Because of course there's no user authorized because you never use nope. I mean, other than to generate test cases and for content, I never use it. I'm trying to think about, like, maybe this is the problem. I don't know. I'm just like trying to, like, I don't know if it's like re-navigating here or something. I don't know. Or stuck at the sign up page. But if I navigate this way, I think it works, right? Yeah. Yeah, and then we get the reference error buffer is not defined. So I don't know. So infuriating, man, because like every single change I try to make to this repo, like whether it's like, I don't know, it just breaks the auth system. Like the auth system feels super fragile, and I don't know why. And like it's just, I don't know. So let's just like gut this for now and like just try to return to what I had, basically. And then do a little bit more testing in between. So this let me sign. No, it doesn't. It is super fragile in a way. Yeah, it is. Because it like, anytime I try to like touch the code base, it falls apart like a house of cards. Try removing some parts like useEffect and check if it's still hanging. Yeah. I see. The funny thing is I have JS and SQL interview scheduled on Monday. I'm not sure how to prepare, so I'm just using GPU to get some interview questions. Any suggestions? I mean, that's not a bad idea, I guess, but I would look for maybe interview questions that are written by people, if possible. That's just my opinion, but because I don't know how accurate GPT's mock interview questions would be. Yeah, let's get rid of the useEffect as well, because like we don't really actually we don't actually use this state anyway, so I could probably gut it. Welcome user.name, because we get the user from the loader anyway. So it doesn't even matter. So we can get rid of this. Maybe probably get rid of the loader too. And then, well, actually we'll keep it, I guess. We'll just keep it for now. Okay, so then so we got rid of that. Yeah, so it's still hanging. I don't know why. I mean, I could just like revert all these changes and like go back to what I had. I don't know. It's so frustrating. But it's part of it. And I think the fragility, to speak to that, I think the fragility is just my ignorance with React Router, to be honest with you. But I'm going to persevere. What was that parse file URL? It's basically just removes the. So basically, last stream we wrote a routine for the home directory to use a loader to fetch all of the files within a directory, and then basically my idea was to use the request URL as a way to get the ID of the file, or the directory file, right, to get its subdirectories. So then I did that here in this get files in directory. Actually, it gives it a path. Never mind. It gives it a path, and then from that path, but I might need to actually change how this works. Oh wait, but if it gives it a path, no. Instead of a dir, I might need to change this to. I might need to change this to. I might need to refactor this, because actually, now that I think about it, I might need to change this. Instead of a dir, it should be an ID. What is the return type of that? The return type should be an entry, like a list of files, essentially. But this actually needs to be, now that I'm thinking about it, this needs to be refactored anyway because of the way that we're handling the directory querying. So I actually need to get files in directory from a directory ID instead of a path, right? Which then actually I need the path anyway, because that's how I'm going to get the other directories, right? I don't know. There's a lot of pull it from the session. Yeah. So I think I need to refactor this code anyway. So I might honestly, because this needs to take the ID, and then from the ID I need to get the path of that directory, and then using the path I do this, right? So that's kind of the idea. So I need to walk back a little bit on my plans here. So figure out a method strategy, keep your to the current directory. That's fine. That's fine. Define query to return a list of files inside a given directory. I'm going to pull this back of a given directory file's ID specifically. So let's work back on this. So let's get rid of the stuff that we did before to break everything. I'm going to do a revert on this. And we'll do a revert on this. And then a revert on this. We can leave the created files because those aren't doing anything. And then let's test this again. Yeah, so now it's working. Nice. So we get our files here, right? But now let's work backwards here. So basically, this is getting our documents and photos underneath the root directory, right? But I'm giving this helper function here is getting the path, the directory as a path, right? But I want to actually give it the ID instead. Matthias Peter Johansson, JS Master. Nice. Okay, so let's work this backwards. Let's do a couple more. So let's say get write query to get file entry from file. Oh wait, because how would I get the root? Oh wait, but I already wrote that query, so it actually is fine because I can get the root by the user. So I can already use this actually. I'm just going in a few different directions here. So we have this get root by user, get files and directory, but then we need to give this an ID. Because ultimately, the reason why we need to give this an ID is because that's how it's going to be requested. Is it's going to be like a slash ID here, right? So it's going to be requested as a get from the client as that, right? Two users can have the same path, technically speaking. Yeah. What's the task management app you use? I use Obsidian. It's Obsidian with the Kanban board or Kanban board plugin. That's what I'm using right now. I find that better than just a to-do list. I kind of changed it over. Okay, so let's refactor this to take in an ID. Okay, so and then we get that from. So what we'll do is we'll say file ID or dir ID. Okay, and then we'll say where ID equals dir ID, and then path dir, and then we need to get the path. File is not file. That's fine. It's giving me errors now, but that's fine. And then I need to get the directory from that. So I need to say const directory path is equal to file.path. And then this is dir path. Oh, because that's fine. Failed to get files in directory. That's fine. We can just move that. Yo, how's it going, Shanks? I tried Jira, but I don't know. I really don't like it. I think Jira, I don't know much about it, but I think it's really bloated. Do you try prepending the drive string prefix to your navigate hook? I'm going to after, Tyler. I'm not going to worry about the actual like navigation yet. I just want to get this thing to work, this query to work. And then once I do that, I'm going to prepend it. But then I also have to do that. So if I prepend it in here, I need to update my parser to do this. So then it'll get, so like /drive/, that'll be the root, right? That can cause a loop or hang if not done. Yeah. Very true. I wonder. Yeah, okay, so we'll do that. We'll say ID. I'll do that now while I'm thinking about it. We'll say home, unauthenticated. Or no login or sign in. No sign in, and then the ID for this is going to be routes drive ID as, I should also call this file ID maybe. And then as routes/home.tsx, and then pass that ID in there as like sign in. That's fine. Files.map's not a function because you can't get the files, which is fine. I'm gonna kill this right now. Oh, but this parse file URL actually doesn't even matter anymore, does it? I don't think it matters. I don't think we actually need this anymore. Because we can just get the root ID, right? So what we can do is we have this get root by user, and then so we don't actually need this parse file URL anymore. Because that's not how we're handling things. We're handling things by passing in to get to to view the contents of a specific folder. We're just doing /drive and then the ID of that, the file ID of that directory, right? Which actually maybe I should call it dir ID or something like that instead of file ID. That might be clearer. I could even just say ID. Okay, so. Now, within our sign-in, this is where I was having. Okay, so this is the change that I made last time, just as a FYI, that broke things. Okay, so let's just rerun this and make sure everything still works. So it's navigating to drive, and then so we actually don't want it to do that because we would need to put the ID here, right? But we don't want to do that. So. Okay, files.map is not a function. It's trying to do that inside of drive navigator, I think. Yeah, because it can't get the files. Because we don't have the files. Oh yeah, we do. Okay. Oh, because this function doesn't work anymore, right? So what we need to do in here is we need to get the root by the user. Const root ID as await get root by user session.user.id, and then we need to pass the root ID in here like this. Oh, but root ID might not be defined, right? Yeah. At what level is he now? What do you mean by that? Yo, how's it going, Catan? Welcome, welcome. Because we need to make sure this is defined, right? So we'll actually do that. here. We'll say if not root ID, console.log no root folder found, or no rooter found for user, or something like that. This is bad error handling, but you know, I'm learning. Session.user.id, user.name maybe. And then return redirects. Maybe we go back to, actually we don't even need to redirect really. We could even console.error this. Or maybe throw an error? I don't know. Or throw error. Can I just, maybe I need to construct it. Oh no, that should be fine. If you don't mind, can you take a quick look at the project? I'm learning from whenever you have some free time. I'm not asking for a detailed review, just a quick glance. I'd like to know how far you... I'm assuming YouTube cut you off there. Whose project section is Discord? You can post it in. Yeah, exactly. You can post it there, Norda, and I can take a look at one of the breaks. Is he started backend? Yeah, I'm doing full stack now. Okay. Yeah, you can join my Discord there. So this should now maybe work. I don't know. Oh, there we go. It actually did fetch the files, guys. So this thing did work, presumably. So let's just test a sign in and a sign out. So we signed out, sign back in. Can we navigate to sign up? Yep, we can change the theme. Okay, so it's not hanging. User add example.com and then password. And we sign in, and that's fine. But then the only thing we need to do is instead of getting the root ID here, we need to navigate to, we need to make it navigable. Instead of navigating to root, we need to navigate to drive / and then whatever that is, right? Whatever that root is, because I don't want this to be the behavior every single time, right? I want to get this, instead of having the root ID by doing this query, I want to get it from the request, right? If that makes sense. So that's the next step. That's what I'm going to do after the break. Because this is kind of just a workaround, just to make sure that the queries and everything still work. Am I using Next.js? No, I'm using React Router v7, Jordan. Appreciate that, Eob. Yeah, it's React. Well, it's React Router, but yeah, it's basically React with... It's a full stack React, basically. It's just full stack React, more or less. It was previously called Remix, I think. React Router was previously known as Remix, I'm pretty sure. But that was before my time in this space, so... I don't know, where is this test being called? Navigation bar. Okay, let's get rid of that. We don't need this anymore. Okay. Wait, what is your backend? That is my backend. React Router is full stack. It's a weird backend, but it is a backend. I'm still learning it. I'm still very new to it, in fact. Now you have base path, you can use request.url, give you the URL. Yeah, exactly. That's the idea. I actually don't even need to do that, though, Jay. I think I can do... Yeah, I didn't know that either, Jordan, until I started learning it. It was actually Jay's suggestion to learn it, I think. Jay's and kind of mine as well. I kind of just made a choice. I know Jay in chat was the one that put me onto it initially, and then I kind of decided. But yeah. Okay. So let's navigate to that thing, right? So we'll navigate to... But the thing is, we need to get the root ID inside of our sign-in, right? So inside of our sign-in, we need to get the root ID, okay, so that we can navigate to the right thing. I don't see anybody using that. Fair enough. It is a valid framework though. Like it's one of the like 5 top ones. I love that. I love it. Once I understood that, it behaved very similar to basic HTML. Which particularly, like, what do you mean specifically? React Router as a whole? Oh, sorry, the request URL. Yeah, sorry, that. No, sorry. I'm like trying to understand like 2 different streams of 2 different conversations at once here. I got you though. And then when I click this new button, eventually I want to bring up like a modal or something. With Hano on the back end, I've never heard of that. React Router, it's meant to make the complexity of frameworks less by making it close to HTML only. Ah, okay. I see. Okay. That makes sense. That's why submissions to actions can handle form data by default. Yeah. Okay. I see you. Cool. All right, let's do another 25 here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get this logic in here. So I need to get the first thing I need to do is I need to fix this home directory. So what I need to do is instead of doing get root by user, I need to get the request.url, I think, right? URL method headers. But can I get like if I get the request URL, can I not get the ID from that? Or would that be in params maybe? So can I do like params request, and then I could do params.id, right? Yeah. That would be easier. One route, one function, I should say. Yeah, that's the other thing that for some reason didn't click right away. Okay. So now I think instead of this, I can do I can just like comment that out, and then I can do params.id, right? Or actually, you know what we'll do? We'll say if not params.id, then we'll, Jesus. No directory ID in request or something like that. I don't know. I'll just leave it like that for now. Maybe I'll do a console.error or something. I don't know. What else do I need? Argument of type string is undefined, is not type string. That should have been handled by this, right? Why is this still not working? What the hell? That's so weird. Oh, the code still runs. You have to return or throw? Okay. Fair enough. valid, because there's no return. Yep. Okay, so I'll leave this here just for now so I have it. So now I'm getting that from, so if I request, let's just try this. So if I do /drive/ and then I need to get the ID. So the ID here is this string, right? And then if I do /drive/ this, it should load the content, right? Theoretically, but it isn't. So it's just stuck on the loading state. There's nothing in the console, so this probably got it to hang or something. Interesting. Because I want to test that this works first before I implement it in the sign-in. The redirect and the sign-in, right? I want to make sure, like, manually that this works, but it seems to not be, which is fine. Oh God, what the hell happened? Oh, can I? Okay, so the user's undefined. Was it unauthenticated for some reason? Interesting. My suspicion is the naming of your model. Though you're importing the file type, the compiler is still recognizing it as the native file type. Oh. Like where specifically? Where would that code be? My schema. Oh shit. Okay, so you know what we'll call this then? Instead of file, we'll say I don't know. What should we call it? File entity? No, that actually might be getting at something that I haven't thought of. Jay, you might be onto something. I think it's worth a shot. Okay, so now we have an error in here, but that's fine. Because I need to re-migrate everything, right? So let's just kill everything here. And then let's re-migrate. Oh, because I need to change the references. Okay, hold on. I think that's it. There we go. I think that error is coming from your user model. Yeah, it is. So this should now generate. There we go. It was because I had a reference to file inside of the user. Wait, why do I need a list of files inside of the user? Why do I even need this? Do I need this? Because if the file entity has, I guess if it's referenced to the user, maybe it does. Maybe it needs that reciprocal. Because if a file entity has a user, then maybe it needs this. It's a relation? Okay, yeah, I'll just leave it then. DB push, sorry, not generate. There might be data loss. Let's do it. All right, cool. The other thing I need to do is I need to change file to file entity in all of these files here. So file entity, that's good. File entity in there, and then I need to fix it in here. And then loader data as file entity. Okay, that should be it. Right? Let's see then if there was any data loss in this. User still exists, and then file entity has nothing. Okay, so that's fine. So let's kill our user and re-sign in here, re-sign up. Oh, because it's dead, that's why. Okay, part of a problem. Okay, let's do a sign up. Yeah, user, and then user at example.com. Okay, so now no directory ID in request. Aha. Okay, so that's good. So we got this error, but that's fine. Yo, sup, JMac. So I want to like. So there's no ID. Oh, because the ID is not. This is in the home directory. So then the home directory redirects back to. Redirect sign in. So this is happening here. So that's why it's redirecting in this use effect. Okay, I see. Okay, but we're not hanging on anything. And that would be because why? Like, so if we go now, if I navigate to drive this, oh wait, this isn't going to work because it's a different ID, of course, right? Okay, so hold on. Wait. So we need to get the ID from the file entity. Oh wait, they weren't created. Oh, why weren't they created? Hold on. Where are those files created? No. Init new file system. Aha, this is why. Okay. So I need to fix this. Prisma.file entity. That's the problem. So our files weren't even being created. Okay, now we're in business. Okay. Yeah, now I need to sign up again. Yep. That's part of it. This didn't error out on me. Because I had the wrong name again in there. I'm just seeing if it's anywhere else. I don't think so. I think I caught it all. Yeah, okay. I mean, I could just look it up, couldn't I? I could just do this. File, prisma.file. Okay, get file, const file, entity. File, so we need to be entity here. Okay. And then file entity. Okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I changed it. So that's the problem. Okay, so let's go back to this. Sign up again. This is getting tedious, but it's okay. It's part of the process. No directory. Okay, so that's fine. But now if we navigate to, if I navigate to drive and then that file entity, oh no, are they still not created? Oh yeah, they are. Okay, good. So now I need to copy this and put this into the here. Oh, but dude, is this not going to work now? Oh man. So it's hung on something now. Fun fact, you could augment your build script to clear the database and seed it with a user to make it a bit better. Ooh, yeah, maybe. I probably should do that. Okay, so now this isn't working. The problem might be from your model. We just fixed the model. Yeah, no directory ID in request. Okay, so that's fine. What does the console say? Let's check. So if I go back to that, oh, buffer is not defined still. Okay, so, but it should be getting it. Auth API. Get session. Am I doing something here? Get files and directory. Okay, I have file entity here. I thought I fixed this. But it's not erroring out, it's just hanging because it's perpetually loading because although but it's not redirecting to the sign in, which is kind of weird. It's very odd. You try applying for roles yet? No, not yet. I still don't think I could get any, JMac. I'm gonna be fully real with you. I think I'm like easily 6 months out. If not more than that. But I hope your Toronto gig's going well. Okay, hold on. No. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of lost on this one. But it can't be that it's misinterpreting file because I renamed it to file entity, right? Like it has to be. I would look to see in the files, see if there's any server files trying to run it in the client. Use file server tsx instead. Like where? Files in the code base. Like this. What do you mean by file? Oh, like, can I just do like .server.tsx? No. Or do you mean filter from this? It will be manually? Oh, okay. Auth server? No. Prisma? No. It's not none of these. Utils. Signup validator. That shouldn't be anything. There's nothing in the middlewares anymore. Routes. No. Maybe the root? No file. No. Never know, man. Got to roll the die. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna be fully real too. Like I can't be bothered right now to go through it. I'm kind of, I don't know, lazy, I guess. If you have a function that only needs to run on the server, add the .server to that file. Yeah. See, I don't know what, I think I have a lot that do both, right? So it's kind of tricky, like with these routes, right? There's nothing in here, nothing in here. This dashboard can actually go. I don't need this anymore. Because that was just for testing. That should be fine with the routes, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know with this one, guys. It's kind of discouraging, but you know, it is what it is. Like theoretically, though, this should work. Because we're not getting the node. Like if I refresh this page, I'm not getting anything in here. Like let's try printing out the files. Oh, so there's two files. See, look, it has the files. And then files dot. So okay, so can I make this like JSON, like JSON dot stringify files, maybe? Yeah, so there's our files with our IDs and everything. Okay, so the fetch is working. I started web dev journey like you, and I'm at day 53. Nice. That's awesome. The fact that there's no server errors, why I think there's something server code trying to run on the client, maybe. But I don't know. I don't even know where, I'm not going to lie, Jay, I have no idea where I'd even begin to look for that. I think that's the problem with this framework, right? Is the distinction between server and client is too muddy for me. And it's making shit like so confusing. But anyway, so the files are being fetched. Like you can see here in the terminal, we have the files here that are underneath. We have the documents and the photos that are underneath the root, right? So this is working, but I think it's hanging on this. I think this use effect is borked for some reason. So maybe the user's not defined, although it would say no user authorized. So I don't know what the problem is there. So console.log user should also return something. Yeah, so there's our user. So that's fine. This is just related to the DevTools problem. I don't know why that is, but that's not been an issue. Okay, so the user and the files are being loaded properly, so that's not the problem. And then they should be inside of here. So see if these are defined. Yeah. There's my files right here. We have the user and then my two files, right? So they're being caught there. Yo, how's it going, Melons? And then I think I can probably gut this. What if I gut the use effect? No, still hanging. Oh, because the loading state never gets changed. Why? I don't know. To be fully honest, I have no idea. But that's the type of behavior we wanted. Okay, now. Oh wait, but is this hung though? Oh no. Oh, but now we can't sign. Okay, so we can't go back to the home directory. Okay, that's another problem, because if we go back home, then it can't get the thingy. Okay, so that's another issue. Yeah, no directory ID and request. Yeah. That works. Okay. All right. So, so we can get rid of this code. We don't need that anymore. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. I'll keep the loading in here for now, but that should be fine. This should just be user. And then, so now let's change the sign in, right? So instead of navigating to root, we want to get the root ID. Okay. So sign out. Should let me sign out, right? Oh, now it's not even. I don't know why it wasn't letting me sign out. Okay. So I should be signed out. Okay, that's fine. So now what we need to do is get the root ID inside of here. And hopefully this doesn't break anything. It might, though. It might. And there was a function I have for that. Get root by user. Okay. No directory ID and request. Why? I don't know. Take a 5-minute break. Man, this project's killing me. I'm not gonna lie. This project is killing me. Better offset invalid password. Oh, did it? Maybe that's my fault. No. Yes, we can't go home anymore, which is stupid because there's no. So this is broken. So the navigation is broken. Oh. Man, this is such a headache. Because now just loading the home page. Just breaks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But that did work. Like if I navigate to that, oh shit, now it doesn't even work. Maybe because the auth failed. I don't know. Now everything's borked. Okay, so it's hanging again. Oh, I don't know why it's hanging again. Like, does this just not work? Like, can I not do shit like this? Like, I don't know. Can we try removing the drive navigator when we return and go step by step from there? Yeah, we can. So let's, where would I navigate it to? Just root, I guess. So what I'll do is I'll do root, and then I'll do but that's gonna fail because I need so actually I'll do this. Can I do or? No. Oh, because, okay, then I can say if. This, can we try removing the drive navigator when we return the component? The stack trace mentioned that component at the top. On the Ruby path right now after finishing foundations, but I feel like doing the JS path would be better for fundamentals. What do you think? It depends what kind of, it depends, honestly, it just depends on your preference, Rooster. Like, I'm doing all right, Prathme, how are you? Like, I think both are valid. Like, they teach you the same concepts, Rooster. Oh, I see, I got you, Jay, okay. Yeah, they're the same, they teach you the same concepts, it's just whether you like JavaScript or Ruby more, I guess. But I think there's probably more jobs in JavaScript land. Yo, how's it going, Miracle Touch? Welcome, welcome. Today is, I'm in bug fixing hell, frankly. Ruby for Shopify. Fair enough. Not going to forget you, don't worry. I'm also not getting famous anytime soon, so, you know. Although we did hit 2,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. Very cool. So thank you all for that. I appreciate it. Guess the next natural goal is 3,000. So I want to start coding. What's a good resource to start self-learning? Either Free Code Camp, Miracle Touch, or Odin Project. So you can check out the Odin Project here. On that note, congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm building a startup solo. That's why I chose Ruby, but I didn't want to take any shortcuts. Yeah. That's good, Rooster. You can also do Free Code Camp, Miracle Touch, which is a good one if you're brand new to coding. I'll paste a link for that as well. Should just make a... Anyway, all right, let's go back to this here. Okay, so basically what I did is I created functionality to get the root ID anyway, even if it's not in the directory. So let's go back to navigating to the root. I might need to clear the session here. Yeah. So is this even going to let me sign out? I doubt it. Okay, so let's kill the server and restart it. Okay. Okay, so that still doesn't work. Okay. And things are hanging. Okay, sick. And then, so if I just go to the home directory, let's go to this oops here. Cannot just destruct a property of user or loaded data as it is undefined. Yeah, because we're not authenticated, of course. That's part of the problem. But we're hung on this still. And I wonder if there's something in here that's doing that. Or if it was, so like if I, for instance, or if it was in, actually no, this wouldn't be in sign in, this would be in home. What am I talking about? Oh wait, no, let's remove this for right now. Yeah, still hanging. Yeah, I don't know. No directory ID and request, yeah, but oh, because this is being returned, I see. Shouldn't be returning it. Yeah, honestly, this is giving me a lot of trouble. God, why is this so difficult? I don't know. What am I working on right now? I'm trying to get this, I'm working on this file, what is it called? Like a file uploader, like basically a Google Drive clone, but I've run into several problems. So I'm like in like this like multi-level bug fixing nightmare right now. So that's kind of where I'm at, but you know what? That's just part of it. It's part of it. It's part of the way these sorts of things go, right? And then I've got my planning here, but that's not really gonna help me very much. I don't know. I just feel kind of stuck. That's a good point. Now we're stuck on the sign up page. Fuck's sake. Something keeps hanging every time this happens, and I don't know what it is. Let's get rid of this params ID bullshit. For right now. Just gonna backpedal. Yeah, so it's all seized up again. Oh wait, no. Although the sign-in navigation is not working. Yeah, it doesn't work. Continue. Yeah, it doesn't let me navigate to sign in. Then when I do navigate to sign in, still something with the buffer. I don't know what this buffer means. Okay, well, I didn't spit out any error here. Not that I can see anyway. No user authorized, it's fine. It's just the dev tools cause so much shit every time you open it, because I think when you open the dev tools, it has its own route, and React Router doesn't know what to do with this route, so it gives an error. Let's look at the sign-in page again. That's where it's breaking. Yeah, I agree. So the sign-in, maybe it's because I'm doing. This is fine. This action's fine. It's this function, because that's the only thing I've been changing. And it's a mess. Don't worry about the I actually don't even need this. I don't need this either. This is in the page component, but it was working fine before. So like if I kill, I don't know if this is even gonna fix anything. Probably not. So now it's all seized up again. There's an action down here that basically does the client-side sign-up validation. Although this isn't really even client-side, is it? This action would be a server-side, which actually I need to do as a client action probably. Can the sign-in functionality be moved to the action? Maybe. This actually might need to be as a client action, now that I think about it. I don't know why this was as just an action. But maybe. But the thing with the auth sign-in here is I am doing it as an on submit, right? So I'm running auth sign-in as an on submit. But maybe it does need to be moved to the action. I don't know. And can you have a client action and a regular action in the same thing? I don't know. Calling actions using use submit. You can use submit data to action imperatively. I don't know. Oh, you can submit data to an action. This is actually what I want, isn't it? Need a separate route. Oh, I don't want to do all that, man. Don't want to do all that. There's got to be something in here that I can just fix because it was working before. But whatever the structure that I have for this code is just very, very fragile. And there's something that continuously breaks every time that I try to do something. But like then how, okay, so if I have like, Does that just work then? It will automatically use the action for the page route. Okay. So then I can put all of this logic inside of here. But then I need the password. Which is where the state comes into. Oh, I can get that here. Cost password. Navigate's not going to work. I need a redirect, I think. Yeah, Jay's, he's like the best, I'm not gonna lie. Auth client, yeah. Auth.api dot what? Can't do sign in apparently. Oh, damn it. Sign in email. And there's just a data. Why is... oh, because it needs a body. Okay. Actually, maybe this. Or does it not return? What is the client? Or the, I guess it's just data. Yeah, Jay's goated. Oh, it requires headers too. Headers. Where am I getting this from? Where is this coming from? Yeah, no, Jay's really helpful. But like, where is this headers thing coming from? Like, where is that? Like, is that not a function inside of auth? Better auth? I don't know. I just like this framework it's too abstract, man. I can't see enough of what's actually going on. I feel like I'm just like shooting shit. Oh, request headers. Okay. Oh, it's not seized up anymore. Oh, never mind. Ah. It's not navigating to sign in, but it's not seized up in the same sense. But the buffer shit is still broken. Anyone, how does he create the file uploader board thingy? What do you mean? Don't forget to change your form action. What do you mean? What do you mean? I didn't. I removed it. It's not there anymore. If you meant that little function that I had. No worries. I think it's still gonna seize. Yeah. Still seizing. Fuck's sake, man. Oh, but it did say success. Down here. Oh, because it's not redirecting anywhere. Of course it's not working. Because it's not redirecting anywhere. Okay, so then maybe this did work. Because you see success here. So it doesn't know what to do, so it's just refreshing the page. Do I need to do event dot whatever? No, I don't think so. Okay, so instead of this, I can navigate. Like I do a redirect, right? And if we redirect home, okay. Okay, but it still doesn't work. Even if it is successful, the redirect isn't happening for me here. And did it say no user authorized, I wonder? No. Oh, maybe it did. No user authorized, no user authorized. But there should have been one authorized, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, so there's nothing being printed. Okay, so it's still broken, but do I need to return from the action? Or is the action void? Oh no, it returns a promise. Okay. Console.log the data from the auth sign-in? Sure. I can do that. You do need to return, okay. Okay, so I'll do that. Actually, before I'll just leave this here. So let's see what the data even looks like. Looks fine. Okay. Maybe we do this return here. No. No, because when could I ever have nice things? But then it says no user authorized. Interesting. So if I sign in, it gives me the user, but then it says on the home route, I think it's being caught by this. There is a token. Where would that be? So it'd be here. This guy? That's theme. Where would the token be? Session storage? React router scroll positions. I don't know, man. Local storage? No. It's not in local storage. There's nothing here. I don't know. And then if I go to my schema here, would it be under session? Oh, because I have a shit ton of sessions. That's probably part of my problem. Just kill the sessions. I don't know if that's part of the issue. Right, that's fair. So I just killed all the sessions. Yeah, so it's giving us, so this is our after our sign-in, right? But then when we get to back to the root here, we can't get a session. Why this all decided to break now, it completely eludes me. I almost want to restart this project from scratch with a better understanding of how this works. But I won't do that till probably, I don't know, because I just feel like this is so clusterfucked at this point. But I just want to see if I can even get to the bottom of this for the sake of this stream. Just because, like, I do want to solve this problem. If anyone else has any ideas, I joined late. What's the issue here? So basically, every time that I try to make a change related to this app, whether it's like, because it's basically a file uploader, right? It's like a shitty Google Drive clone. Every time that I try to make a change related to, you know, querying for different files, stuff like this, the entire authentication system breaks, and it feels like it's like made of like glass or something. So there's something with the way that I've set up the authentication system that just like there's something with the route that like hangs or something. I don't know. I have no idea what happens, but all I know is that it doesn't let me sign in and it doesn't redirect properly and it doesn't, I don't know. And it's my fault for sure, because React Router, to me, this is like the first React Router project I've ever done that's like a big, like not a big project, but like something that's like actually substantial. And there's just so many moving parts, I feel like, that like there's something that I'm missing. It's causing the auth system to break, and I don't know why. So for some reason here, when we redirect to the root, we can't get the session. The session doesn't return anything because we get our signed in user, which is printed here. But then when we go to home, when it redirects to the home page, it says no user authorized and then spits you back out at the redirect, right? So if we returned this instead, and then it doesn't redirect back to sign in, this actually might help us more. Yeah. So this makes sense because the user is undefined, right? So that makes sense. Line 45, of course we can't deconstruct it from loader data because it's undefined. Because the session isn't being created for some reason. And I don't know why. I genuinely have no clue. Because, the session's here, it's in the database, but for some reason the loader on the... And now I wonder if this is because of the fact that we have multiple routes again under this, under the home TSX. I wonder if that's the problem. Store your token inside a session local storage, so when you get redirected back, your auth. But see, okay, yeah, I hear you, Spencer, but the thing is, BetterAuth is supposed to handle that, as far as I'm aware. Jay, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think BetterAuth, which is the library I'm using for authentication, should handle all of the token storage and the creation itself, right? So that's the confusing part to me, is I shouldn't have to be responsible for doing that. Like when I go here, for instance, in home, can we see the server side setup? Where can someone point to me where that exactly would be? The auth.ts file. Okay, thank you. This? Nope, still working on it. So yeah, I honestly might gut this project and restart it. I'm not sure. Oh, auth.server. Because it's broken.
How's that happen?
Because I'm a bad programmer.
No. No.
Yes.
No. People make mistakes.
My girlfriend's asking why it's broken.
I've made like 10 mistakes on my project.
Well, it's fine. I can just restart. But it's just, it's just part of it. Anyway. No, I'm not. Yeah, it's just a lot, I think. That is what I typically do. When you say, what do you mean what you typically do, like restart? Because I feel like if I restarted, I'd have a better understanding of how to structure this more properly. Because I feel like a lot of this file is a history of me learning how, the setup for auth server. A lot of this code base is the history of me learning learning React Router, right? So there's shit I probably did like 3 days ago or even a week ago that's causing things to break. Anyway, I'm just going to take a break now. And then I'll go for one more session. I don't know what I'm going to do in this session. Maybe just continue to debug it and see if we do solve this problem or not. But we'll see. But I do have a question related to the Prisma thing. So for Prisma here, I think you kind of addressed this before. But for this user, we have these files defined here. Is this field or this attribute necessary if I have a relation here? Is that why that's necessary? Because in this case, then I could get all of the files just so every file that the user has, I could get as an attribute in the user, no? So like that would change how I query stuff. This is completely unrelated to what we've been working on. I'm just thinking about this on the side. It is. They have to be on both? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. This is just me learning like the ORM thing, right? As well. Sorry, I'm yawning. Yeah. Makes sense. But then theoretically, user.files is a thing that I could use to get the files. Like I could search for a specific file based on a path from the user files. As like some kind of nested query or something like that. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking ahead. Has the bit thingy been removed already? What do you mean? The bit thingy. What's the bit thingy? Oh, Bitwarden. Yeah, Bitwarden's gone. Actually, let me just double check. Yeah, it's off. So if I go here, it's off. I made sure of that before stream. Actually, so. Bitwarden. It is useful, but it screws up my projects. Oh well. Oh man. Anyway, was there any insight to be gained from looking at the auth.server? Because this is basically, I set it up basically how it was meant to be set up based on the docs. So I don't know. Right, because I have my Prisma adapter for the Postgres server, and then I've got my trusted origin and my base path for the auth stuff. defined, and the fact that I'm using email and password. Please hold, it might be the base path. Really? You think this is the problem? Oh yeah, because okay, so if I'm doing sign in here, and this is underneath, because this action would be to what? Sign up, right? Or sign in? It'd be a post to sign in, no? So maybe that's the problem. And then if we're doing auth API sign in email here, it's making a post to this auth/API/sign-in/email. And so can you not do a post with another post? Like, so I don't know, because that's the thing. I don't know what is a post where, because of how this framework's laid out, right? I don't know if that makes any sense. Because like, and to anyone watching that has never used a full stack framework before, basically, you know, you're learning about front end and back end, right? And they're separate things, and it makes sense for them to be separate, in my opinion. But then you have these people, and this isn't, you know, I'm not dogging anybody that uses full stack frameworks. It just makes it confusing for us learning. Where they decide, okay, let's mesh together the client and the server in such a way that you can do both from both. Like it's all one project instead of having like a client and a server separately, right? But the problem is, if you're like me and you jump into this kind of blind, you don't know what is server and what is client, or where the like HTTP requests are happening. Like with Express, for instance, it's very obvious like when you make an HTTP request, because it has to be defined in a route, and then you know connect that through like a routes file, right? Like you have a router and then you connect that to middleware, right? So that makes a lot of sense, because then that's all on the server, and then everything on the client is just sending requests to that backend, right? Through those routes, and then it's handled by the middleware in the backend, right? So that kind of clean separation makes a lot of sense. But with this full stack stuff, what I'm beginning to learn in this journey is that it's weird, and that there's this weird behavior, and you're trying to do shit and finish shit because it's like it like logically, you know, assuming that a client and a server are concepts that are merely suggestions. I don't know. It's kind of a rant. I don't know where I'm going with this. But basically, TLDR, it's confusing as hell. On the better auth, the origin path were not specified in the installation docs. Oh, really? One problem I face with the Next.js is that the way we can have middleware for the different routes, we cannot do that with Next.js. What do you mean? Do you mean Express? Not gonna lie, life was easy when I had Rust backend, React frontend for my chat app. Yeah, because again, I think there's something to be said about having the front end and the back end separated. Like this full stack stuff is crazy. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Satya. But you know what? I'm coming to learn that it's easier to reason when you have a well-defined interface between the two services. Exactly. Meanwhile, this it's like so like you know like how one of the and again this isn't me hating on anybody that uses a full stack framework, because if anything it's just a skill issue on my end. But I find the code so like intertwined, right? And like you're not supposed to have code that's like tightly coupled, right? And maybe this is just me being ignorant to how full stack frameworks are supposed to work, but to me it seems like crazy. I don't know. Okay, so let me go. So Jay says on better auth the origin and the path are not specified in the installation docs. So let's go back to the installation docs and see what that's all about. So we have auth TS. I did back and front separately for years before I did full stack. Yeah, maybe that would be a smart idea. That's the auth client. This is the auth server here. Oh yeah, you're right, it isn't defined. Surely the base path was defined though, wasn't it? Was the base path not defined? Really? Then why did this get, how did this get here? I don't even know. So what if I delete it? Should I delete it? I'm deleting it. I don't know how that got added there. I don't remember why I put that there. Is this still on? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. It would be cooked. Let's just let this redirect happen here. Okay, it's still seizing up. You'd restart and clear the database. Valid. Valid. So I'll kill this. Kill the database. Actually, if I kill the user, then it'll wipe the sessions too, because there's a cascade. Okay. Just RF the whole project and move to Golang, yeah. Yeah, no, but I am seriously thinking of a rewrite with Express and React separate. JMac. But I wanted to see if this works, just out of pure curiosity at this point, right? Okay, so let's... Okay. Should actually open this up. Oh, good. Okay, so we got a 500 error from the sign up now. Why do we get a 500 error? Hold on. Init new file system? Golang? I don't know, man. Eventually. Was it in this init new file system? Yeah, failed to create root folder, maybe. Was there an error? In here somewhere. Oh, file entity. Yeah, it's this init file system here. File entity user ID F key. Foreign key constraint violated. I suggest Rust, but Rust is niche. I feel like it's not. It's less niche than it was. What's the problem? There's no error in here. Unless I'm blind. I don't see it. God. Yeah, so now it's all... I want to burn it, guys. I want to burn it so bad. Oh, your indexes in the Prisma schema probably were not updated after changing to file entity. Indexes of the Prisma schema. What do you mean? Where? Where are the indices? Oh. That's just email for user. I have a unique email. And then for this, I have a unique path and user ID for file entity. Yeah, it looks fine. I don't know, this React router is kind of rage baiting. It is rage baiting. I agree. Yeah, JS is just rage bait in general, but it's necessary, unfortunately, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm thinking of burning it. I'll do it starting next stream, or we'll start fresh. But this is like giving me like, how many streams now has it been? Like 5 or 6 streams just of hell. Like it's just, I feel like I'm like a little bit What do I know? I'm a C++ dev. Dude, how are you finding the work, by the way? I'm curious about like your corporate thing. If you don't mind sharing a little bit. If you don't want to share, that's totally cool. Nuke the whole PC and raise chickens, yeah. You know, it might get to that point. Not raise chickens. I had a buddy in high school that had chickens. Fun fact. He didn't use them for, raise them for meat though. They were just for eggs. But anyway, fun little anecdote. Wait, just tell me, is it the same issue, the sign in, the hanging between where the point where you're stuck are now? Yeah. So, but I think, Satyam, it's the same hanging, but I think it's being caused by something different. Can't even have chickens in my city. It's a scam. Really? That's crazy. I wonder. I'll have to look at the city I live in. You know, their rules because tomorrow to come live. Yeah, I'm planning on going live tomorrow afternoon. Satyam. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think tomorrow afternoon. Some of my friend's neighbor is riding a bike down a public street, topless with a chicken in their basket. Damn. Core memory at 25. That's crazy. Try to check it out before forking it in my free time. Yeah, absolutely. It might be like a commit or two behind, or like it might be a bit behind because I haven't committed these changes yet, Satyam. But yeah, go for it. Yeah, they're outlawed here, but the dude down the street is puppy mill in his backyard. Oh, fuck's sake. That's bullshit. It's chill. I work with multi-host systems right now. Make changes to our compiler runtime. Nice. Got added to another project to build an LLM engine. Really? Like from scratch? That's crazy. So I don't know. I don't really know if there's anything else we can do with this other than just burn it. Cause like, okay, so we go to, let's just like look through the docs here. So you have our routing, okay? Routes are configured in apps routes TS, of course, okay? This is how we've been doing it. Kind of like this, right? If you prefer to define your routes via naming conventions, then you can do the fs routes package provides a file system name routing convention, where I think it just works based on the file system or something like that. Right? I'm just seeing if there's anything I'm missing here. Route modules. Files, references, route TF define each route's behavior. They can each have their own module assigned to them, obviously. CDevs are superior to all devs. Valid take. Is the file-based routing, isn't it? Is this file-based? No, so you can use file-based routing, Satyam, basically, is what the docs are saying. If you wanted to, you could install this extra package to do file system routing, but what I'm doing is I'm doing it explicitly by defining them inside of here. Right? So that's just an option within React Router. If you check out the other modes, it's not that complicated. Yeah. I think it's just using it as a framework. Satyam is pretty complicated. Instead of base path, go to the top here. Yeah, because you can use data or the declarative mode, right? There are different modes. We did use, I think it was the declarative mode once. Jay will remember. We did that earlier, like way back in the React days. Like before I started backend. Instead of base path. Okay, let's try that then. So base URL and then the HTTP. Like that. Declarative mode. I love the dichotomy. No wonder why framework never clicked ever. Yeah. Is that good, Jay? Is that base URL here? Is that fixing our shit? Wait, let's see. Do we even have a user in here? We do. Okay, can we even navigate to sign in to... No, seized up. Son of a bitch. Nope. Nope. Although it returned true. Where did this true get returned from? Very mysterious. Where did that? Where did sign up? Where did that get returned from? Oh, new file system created. Oh, that's what that is. Should give us. Oh no, that's not where that's from. Never mind. Where's the true being returned from? It's not returning the file system though, so obviously something's busted. Yeah, I know. It has its own set of ASCII parts. That's why I moved to 10-stack router. Got you, Satya. It's the first time I see you use the word ass or anything in that realm. Jay or me? I don't know. I swear every now and again. I try to not as much because I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like to, but when I'm like frustrated, I will. But I'm not somebody who swears. Like I don't make it like every word in my vocabulary, or I try not to. But it's not like I'm scared of it or anything like that. I scraped plenty of projects from using declarative mode. I'm passionate about that, I guess. Oh, scrapped. Sorry, I can't read. Scrapped. Is scrapped with 2 P's? I don't know. It's too late for this. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I don't know, but we've had fun. And this is actually, I think, if I do ditch this, which is very likely, and I'm not going to ditch it completely. I'm still going to use it as a reference. Like, I'm not going to ditch this Prisma schema, right? Because I think you can still use, can you use Prisma, can you use an ORM with Express? Well, it wouldn't be Prisma client, would it be? Or would it have to be with a full stack? Prisma ORM is next generation node TypeScript ORM. Okay, so it works on a backend. Okay, that's fine. You can use it with TypeScript. It would be annoying to get the types in both projects. Oh, true that. Yeah. Presented to Y Combinator. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what YC means. That's true. Okay, are there are there ORMs? Well, I guess if it's TypeScript, I don't know. I guess it's kind of tricky. Driver adapter is mandatory. So this is Prisma client. Prisma migrate reference. All ORMs will be the same. Okay. Because I know there's Drizzle. I've heard of Drizzle before. All efforts are good efforts. Fair enough. My pessimism disagrees, but can you use with BetterAuth? You can use BetterAuth with Express too, right? I think. Oh, wait, that wouldn't be in here, would it? Get started, installation. So you do Postgres here, and then Hono, Cloudflare, Express. Yeah, here we go. Express introduced breaking changes to route path. As a result, the implementation of Express JS v5 should look like this. Okay. Cool. Drizzle will be the same way. Yeah, I got you. Okay, so you can't use Express for better auth. I thought so. And then you'd have to put it in the client. So then if, okay. Yes, this would be actually kind of tricky. Should I put it on a server and in the DM? What do you mean? Oh, was that the wait, were you the one that wanted me to look at that project? I forget, what was it, Satyam, that you wanted me to look at? Or was it you that wanted me to look at something? Okay, yeah, so we can't do this. This is the thing that I see. So you have a separate projects about better auth setup where you, with the Express and Hano. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can post that in the server if you like. Sure. Hano's already pushed. Express will be pushed in a few minutes. Got you. Nothing in local storage. There's a rack read or scroll positions. Not sure what that is. Cookies for theme. Clear site data. Check cookies. Yeah, I cleared the cookies. Yeah, it's not. But it's not, I don't think it's because of better auth. It's because of the way that I've set it up with React Router. React Router just like, yeah, it just like doesn't. Better auth is definitely broken, yeah, maybe. But I think better auth is broken because of the way that I've implemented it in React Router. So better auth is broken because of the way I did it with React Router. But that's fine. You know, lessons learned. Full stack is weird. You know, really weird. It's way more difficult than I initially anticipated, which is fine. Because that's, you know, that happens. And it's not even that it's like conceptually difficult. It's just confusing. Like there's a difference between confusing and difficult in the sense that like not having the clean distinction between front end and back end makes it, if you're not, you know, really, really deeply familiar with both, or like the documentation's kind of iffy, then it's like weird, you know? Because you're doing things like you have an idea in your head of how something's supposed to work, right? And you kind of tacitly believe, okay, based on my understandings, you know, this implementation should work, but there's something inside of the full stack framework that's different from your mental model of how the framework's working, right? And that's just it. Definition of insanity is trying to do the same thing except in a different outcome. Expecting a different outcome. Let's try Next.js. No. I'm gonna go back to, I think, doing a separate client server. The only concern that I have with that is managing types across the two projects. Do you watch any lectures? No, I don't anymore. I did a lot when I was in my degree, Yash. I watched a lot of lectures. I attended them, actually, in person. I was just a monorepo. That's how you share libraries, but that's a whole other beast, yeah. Well, you know what I'll do? Spend tomorrow maybe looking more into this. I may actually stream tomorrow evening. I'm not sure. Or tomorrow afternoon. Probably tomorrow evening, though. Only because maybe I want time in the afternoon to do that. But you're right, for type sharing. I don't know. I'll look in and kind of explore my options. I'll do some research off stream and see, like, can this be done? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But can you have a mono repo? Because I know mono repos are for multiple projects, right? But can you have a mono repo that's just one project, but just a separate front end and back end? I mean, I'd assume so. Yeah, you can? Okay. So did you feel reading docs better than watching lectures regardless of your stage? I mean, it depends on, I think both are valid, Yash. I think it just depends on the way that you learn. If there are any apps that share related code, mono repos are meant for that? I got you, okay. So I'll look into setting up a mono repo then. Both rely on the same code in some capacity. And then can you have like a part of the mono repo, Jay, like for example, like TypeScript definitions that are shared? Does that make sense? I guess so. I honestly, I've never even like looked into that before, so I don't even know. Cool. So I'll spend some time off stream researching that, and then I'll probably go live again tomorrow evening, I think. Because I want some time tomorrow afternoon to do a bit of research on that guy. Yes, I've done that, but not the better auth in Prisma. I'm using Drizzle and all that is in backend. I'm using Zod contacts for type safety. Ah, okay, cool. Mono repos are a pain in the ass initially, but now I'm in love with them. Yeah. I'll definitely take a look and see. Sometimes you might even want that, I would think. Prisma has a generator for Zod as well. What is Zod? What the hell is Zod? Oh, it's a validation thing for inputs. Okay. So it's like the express validator. Okay. Neat. That's cool. All right. Well, that was a very productive stream. Actually, maybe one of the least productive streams of my streaming career, but that's okay. Mono repos are a pain because for TypeScript you have a lot of options for shared packages. Right, I see. That makes sense. And you probably at the beginning don't really know what to go with. So anyway, I'll look into getting that set up tomorrow, or I'll find a third another thing that I want to do. You found out a lot in this stream. I did. That's fair. Build packages, path aliases, direct import sorts. Yeah, I see. I got that. But I did. I figured out a lot. I figured out what works for me and what doesn't. And the thing is like, it's not that React Router is a bad framework. It's just that I don't think at a level where like debugging these sorts of things is like going to be productive for my learning, in the sense that maybe if I came back to React Router like 6 months from now, I could be better equipped to deal with these sorts of things. But maybe I'm not there yet, you know? I would express, that's exactly what I'm thinking, Satya. Yep. So anyway, it's gonna be it for me tonight, guys, I think. So we learned a lot. I will be live tomorrow, probably in the evening. I'll release the week schedule either late tonight or early tomorrow. So stay tuned for that in the Discord. If you want to follow along on this journey of the ups and downs, then feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate it. GG, good stream. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll see all of you probably tomorrow evening. I'm pretty bad with outros. You want to have ball knowledge like Jay one day? Yeah, you'll get there. Thank you. I appreciate that you thought it was a good stream. It was a real stream, is what it was. But yeah, good night, guys. /good morning /good afternoon. I'll see you in 22 hours.